What is up, guys? California Phantom. I have my DJI Mavic 3. I have a brand new pair of Master Airscrew props for the Mavic 3. You know what time it is. Let's get to it. I know I've had a love-hate relationship with Master Airscrew. It's something that dates back all the way back to the Phantom 3 when these propeller company kind of sprang about and was producing propellers for drones. I didn't necessarily think they were useful, but coming from a purely aesthetic and an engineering standpoint, these are far better than the stock propellers that come with DJI drones. What I hope to accomplish today is to test the claims made by Master Airscrew. Does it in fact decrease the noise while simultaneously increasing the flight time? We're going to take you out to one of my favorite flying spots, Bartholomew Park, with the future Mark. Take it away. Thank you, Office Mark. We're here at Bartholomew Park. I have my decibel meter. We have the default OEM DJI propellers on. It's a little windy. We have 8 to 10 mile an hour winds with like 15 mile an hour gusts. So we're going to see how the OEMs react first, measure that as a maximum decibel meter, and then we'll switch over to the Master Airscrew props and see what they do. So we're sitting around 101 decibels. Now we're going to take a look and see what the Master Airscrew propellers do and see if they differ at all with the overall max decibel rating. All right, so now I've converted them over to the Master Airscrew propellers. These are the dual color set, so it's going to be black in the front, orange in the back for orientation's sake. I figured that'd be more interesting to see if I can increase my visual line of sight with the craft and maintain orientation without relying on the FPV. We may or may not do that experiment later, but right now I want to focus on decibels, so let's send her up. Same height as before. Already I can hear a significant decrease in the decibels. We're going to confirm it with this decibel reader. So you have 97.6 decibels, call it 98, versus the 100.6 or 101 decibels. So to me, this is a significant increase, but let's see what it does in terms of battery. Does it increase the flight time of the Mavic 3? We're about to find out. All right, so we just got sat lock, home points connected. I'm gonna send it up as quick as possible. We're gonna switch this over to video just so that I can get a timestamp. And we're beginning. Actually, we're going to start it as soon as I launch it. There we go. Same thing, about 6 feet, 6.5 feet off the ground. We're going to see how long flight time we can get out of the Mavic 3 in these pretty gusty, windy conditions. Again, we're dealing with 8 to 10 mile an hour wind with 12 to 15 mile an hour gusts at Bartholomew Park in Elk Grove, California. All right, so far we've gone 10 full minutes. The Mavic's obviously holding strong. This is a drone can fly in excess of 35 minutes. So one thing I didn't realize or remember is that I have a stopwatch in my iPhone. So I went ahead and recorded exactly 10 minutes on the drone itself, switching over to the iPhone app. So we're gonna add 10 minutes onto the end of the end time on the iPhone to get the total time, and then when we switch back to the OEM props, I'll be sure to use the iPhone app right from the gate. What? Oh, still in the air. It's at 28 minutes, 52 seconds. We're sitting at 19%. I may opt to land it when it sends me its first warning, which should occur around 15%. I think that keeps it fair. Most people shouldn't be flying the drone beyond that initial time frame. Some of you guys set it to 10%, but with these drones flying 35, 40 minutes, you really don't need to stress the battery and push it to the absolute limit. 15% is reasonable. We'll get the specs off that, and then we'll compare it against the OEM propellers. All right, perfect. The 10 minutes before I started this, brings it to 30 minutes and 57 seconds. Let's try the OEM, get it down to 13% exactly. All right, so I got the OEM propellers on. I gave the Mavic 3 10 to 15 minute waiting period with no battery in it, just to give it a chance to cool down its internals. We don't want any sort of skewed testing here. I know some of you might get me on the fact that I recorded for 10 minutes, so I'm gonna start the timer, start the stopwatch on the accurate time, but I'll give it 10 minutes of recording on this battery as well with the OEM propellers, just to make sure all things are equal. Start recording, start as it goes up. We're gonna give it about between 6 and 7 feet off the ground. Timer begins. Let's go. All right, I got the prompt at 15%, low battery warning on the OEM props. It'll be interesting to see down to the wire what it reaches at the 13% mark. I'm gonna land it exactly at 13%. We'll get the final time and compare notes. And 13%, we're gonna land it here. As we land it, we are gonna hit stop. So we went ahead and landed. The OEM props is exactly 13%. We got 27 minutes with 48 seconds. Interesting numbers against the Master Airscrew, 30 minutes and 57 seconds. So definitely interesting findings, albeit very, very time consuming, very cold results. Why don't you take it away, Office Mark? So those were some interesting findings coming from the Master Airscrew propellers. I was hoping to get more range out of it, but it was measurably quieter in my opinion. Having these premium propellers, you know, there's a lot of crazy accessories out for drones today. This has got to be one of the best accessories for your Mavic 3. This drone costs over $3,000, so to know that I have the absolute very best propeller on it can give me a little bit of comfort every time I fly this very expensive drone. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment down below letting me know if you're gonna get the Master Airscrew propellers to protect your Mavic 3 investment. I know I'm sold now. I wasn't sold back when I had the Phantom 3, but they Master Airscrew, you turned another one, you have a customer for life, and we will catch you on the next adventure.